Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our virtual college fair tonight with the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling. My name is Melissa. I'll be your facilitator for this evening. Just a couple housekeeping reminders before we get started tonight. Your camera and microphone are off, so our institutions and our colleges cannot see you or hear you. But how do you ask questions throughout the evening? Feel free to use the Q&A button on your screen to ask any questions for our schools. We have some great schools coming up to tell you more about their colleges. So feel free to use that Q&A button on your screen to ask any questions. We have more sessions happening this evening, so feel free to sign up for more. And this recording will be available online at strivescan.com/WACAC. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter, our first institution, York University.
Hello, my name is, oh, wait, just a sec. Everything just went very strange for a second. 1 second, share screen. Okay, bear with me. I'll go. Okay, I am representing York, as was mentioned. I believe I'm the only university from Canada who is in this particular session. So I want to give you a little bit of information about that if any of you haven't really or don't really know a whole lot about Canada yet, but you should definitely consider it. So here's a quick list of some of the reasons you should be thinking about Canada. Universities are publicly funded in Canada, which means that they all have to maintain a very high quality. So when you're talking and looking at different Canadian universities, it's not so much about looking for the best university, it's about finding the right fit. So our questions might seem a little shaped a little differently because that's what we're looking for. They're all great. And they're all across the entire country, and they have varying prices and that sort of thing, but they're all incredibly respected, internationally recognized, portable degrees. Portable means that if you decide you want to go into graduate studies anywhere in the world, a Canadian university degree is respected and valued. The cost of living and the tuition in Canada is quite reasonable comparatively to a lot of other countries, including the fact that our currency conversion rate, especially for American students, makes it even more attractive. So for instance, a $1 US is the equivalent of $1.30 in Canada. So that's basically a third off in terms of the prices. Canada is a very politically stable, clean, safe, liberal, progressive country. No country is by any means perfect, but we are looking pretty good on the world scale. We're ranked 1 or 2 in quality of life every year. We have universal health care. With your student ID, you will have to pay a tiny bit for insurance, but you will be able to walk into any hospital in the country and be okay and not have a ton of expenses. Multiculturalism is a very big deal in Canada. Our university is in Toronto. 50% of the people in Toronto were not born in Canada, to give you an idea of how multicultural it is. Like I said, tuition varies depending on where in the country, but it's anywhere from 17,000 to 54,000 Canadian per year for international students. A couple other things I just want to mention is that you can work as an international student in Canada. You don't need a special visa. Our co-ops and internships are paid, and we have a 3-year work visa if you want to stay and get some more international work experience once you've graduated. York is in Toronto. It's the biggest city in Canada at 4 million people. It is on one of the Great Lakes. It is a very urban place, but there are a lot of parks scattered throughout. Like I mentioned, there's 180 languages spoken in Toronto, and it's one of the safest places. Now, York is located in Toronto. We have currently 2 campuses in Toronto and 2 internationally, as well as we're going to have a 3rd in a couple of years. It's currently being built. So we will eventually have 5. We have 10,000 plus international students from 178 different countries. And what this does for you is it increases your education exponentially, because in every class you're in, you're going to get perspectives from all over the world. Let me see. We are one of the most comprehensive universities in North America. We offer just about everything. I'm going to skip ahead. 6 minutes goes by super fast. This is Kiel campus. It is where most students end up. There are 45,000 students at this campus. This is the Glendon campus, also in Toronto. If you're a little intimidated by the size of Keele, Glendon only has about 4,000 students. It feels much more like a New England Ivy League private school, but it is only a 20-minute drive between the two campuses, and we have a free shuttle that travels all day long for students who have some classes that they want to take or facilities they want to take advantage of at the bigger campus, or vice versa, depending on where you are. Now, when I said we're one of the most comprehensive universities, undergraduate universities in North America, this is why. We offer everything from space engineering to dance to film to, we have the #1 ranked business administration program in Canada. We have all the sciences. We have translation degrees, liberal arts, sciences, education, law, engineering, nursing. Everything is possible here. And one thing that I think is really important about York is that you can combine your classes and your interests. You don't have to give up one for another. If you're interested in environmental studies, but also want to take some film classes, you can do that. Or you can take sciences and take some dance classes, and those credits will go towards your degree. I think that makes York very special in terms of what's possible. Thus, your degree, your way. All of a sudden, my slides have frozen. 1 second. Hands-on learning is big. Co-ops in Canada and internships are paid. There are a tremendous amount of opportunities. You don't have to just be it doesn't have to be just in certain courses. You can actually do it however you want in any program we have. Let me go back into here. I'm going to quickly go through these. We have 9 colleges. We have 11 residences. First years are guaranteed a space in the residences, 3 gyms, 300+ clubs, a ton of restaurants, a ton of supports that we have, like for anything that you might be experiencing. Our York International is the most important part of your experience. They will do everything from help you pack, give you a special orientation as an international student. They will help you practice writing resumes, applying for the work permit I mentioned, anything. They're a wonderful resource that we have. We have mentors, financial advising, etc. Oh, just a sec. Admission requirements, we have several. I'm not sure what school you are in, but you should ask. Send an email and we can tell you. Those are our deadlines. And those are generally the prices for tuition. So you can see a breakdown of those. Remember, they're in Canadian dollars, so we also broke it down into US. We do have scholarships. So if you want more information about that, just contact me. This is my contact information. So basically, consider Canada, and then in particular, consider York. It was at 6, that was 6 minutes, right?
Awesome job. Thank you so much. Next up, we have University of Westminster.
Hello, I know you can, you can see me. Hi everyone, I'm Jane, I'm from the University of Westminster in London in the UK. And I support international students coming to join us in London from the US. So I'll be sharing my contact details and you're welcome to get in touch with questions at any point, anything you'd like to know you think of today, or maybe in the coming weeks and months as you come to apply. So hopefully I'm not going to have too many technical problems, but we'll see. So just to introduce you, a brief overview to Westminster. So we are a modern university in the UK. That doesn't mean we're young. We've got nearly 200 years of teaching experience now, but we were established as one of the first polytechnics. So we focus on professional and applied learning. We were actually established to teach Londoners professional skills in the 1800s, and that really reflects who we still are today. We're an average size. We have about 20,000 students for a UK university. And just to go through quickly, a little bit about why you should consider studying with us. So being where we are, you know, really easily accessible, both for visiting, if your family want to come and visit when you're here, for you coming and going, and for you to really take that opportunity to explore the rest of the UK while you're with us. And then many of our students will also take that opportunity in normal times, which we're hopefully returning to explore Europe as well in their holidays and their weekends. But it's also about making it that a bit more accessible for you. In terms of where we are in London, so we have 3 campuses right in the heart, right in the centre of London, and one about 25 minutes, so really very close, easy on public transport. And that's our Harrow campus, that's next to Wembley Stadium, if you're a soccer fan. And then maybe recognisable for some of you, so our Marylebone campus is opposite Baker Street Station, well known for Sherlock Holmes and Madame Tussauds. Our Regent Street is our original building, that's at Oxford Circus, that's the main shopping street in London. So central London's very small and accessible, but we really are right in the middle of it all. So people do choose us, obviously you're looking at the course, the subject, but then you also want to think about the fit and the environment that you want to study in. And Westminster really is also about being in London. You know, it's been voted again top student city in the world by students internationally. So it's really about, it's not just about the social and the cultural aspects of being in London, it's also about the professional opportunities that it gives you with all the industries and the professional bodies on your doorstep, and opportunities also for work placements, maybe during or after study. I've mentioned already, you know, we are a modern and applied university, so it's a very much professional focus. Many of our teaching staff have current relevant industry experience, and we really focus, so when you're looking at our courses on our website, you'll see all the professional accreditations that might be linked to the different courses. We're really international, we reflect being in a global city. We have more than 160 different nationalities studying with us, and we have it, you know, what that means for you is you're joining a welcoming community of both students, alumni, and also staff. So it's about that being in that environment. In terms of career development, we've got an award-winning careers centre. We have fantastic mentoring scheme as well, and lots of support and options for you, as well as that fact that, you know, being in central London offers you those additional opportunities. So just very, very briefly, in terms of where and who we are, and you can see more about this on our website. So we do biomedical sciences, computing, psychology areas. This is the original building, the one at Oxford Circus. Well, here, very popular international relations and also our law programmes. This is Marylebone campus at the Baker Street site. You can see online virtual tours for all our buildings. And we've got the architecture studios here and the fabrication labs. And in our business school, which is probably our biggest school, we're very well known for marketing communications. And then the Harrow campus, that's the one which is digital and creative industries, where we have a lot of studio space here. This is where we do the fashion, film, arts, TV, and media and communications is one of our very strong areas. So we have accommodation for students. You don't need to worry about that, even though you'll be in central London. It's self-catered, so you get your own room, your own bathroom, and then you share a kitchen with maybe 5 or 6 other students. These are just some of our alumni past and present, but I think I'm going to run out of time, so we'll move on. So entry requirements, you can refer to our country page, you can get in touch with me. This year we've been accepting exceptionally, because we're a 3-year degree programme, we would normally ask for your high school diploma plus additional exams, but where they're not possible and there have been cancellations, then we will consider students with the high school diploma of at least a GPA of 3. There is an option, if we can't find the quite right subject grades within your high school, to offer you a foundation route, which would mean you did a 4-year degree in total. So then that would, you know, be very similar and familiar for many of you. These are our fees. So you're looking at just under $20,000 per year, and that's for a 3-year program, so per year for 3 years. And we've got loads of information about affordable London, loans, support, and working out your cost of attendance on our web pages. So have a look at those. We've got lots of information about, in much more detail about our courses. So if you have a look at those 2 sites at the top there, or welcome to contact me as well. That's my email at the top, I'm Jane. And we've got open days coming up, so we're doing them all virtually again this year. So if you would like to find out more, speak to tutors, maybe speak to some students directly, then have a look. The next one for the undergraduate studies is on the 9th of October, but we'll have many more through the year. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, next up we have University of Roehampton.
Here we go. All right, got everything set up there. Thanks so much for that, Melissa, and thanks for everybody for coming tonight. My name is Amanda Lundberg, and I'm an international officer with the University of Roehampton in London. As you can hear, I am from the US, so not unlike Jane's lovely accent, but I did live in London for 12 years, so I'm really excited to tell you a little bit more about why you should go to London as well and why you should choose Roehampton. All right, so we're considered London's campus university. We're unique in that way where we have a single campus rather than multiple campuses all over the city. We're situated on a beautiful 54-acre parkland campus in Southwest London, so just outside of Central. We've also been providing education for 180 years, and we were the first college of higher education in the UK to admit women, which we're really proud of. We've also been ranked as the top 10 University of London, and you can see just a gorgeous shot here of some of our campus. So a little bit about us, fast facts here. We have a very diverse student population. We have around 9,000 students enrolled, about 6,000 of those are undergrads. And we have about 146 nationalities that are represented on campus. So that means 28% of our students are from outside of the UK. 93% of our students are usually within, have been employed or going on to further education within 6 months, which we're really proud of. And then I'll show you our 6 academic departments in just a moment. We're also ranked 5th amongst London universities for student satisfaction. And we are currently set at #1 for the most modern, the #1 modern university for quality of research in London, and then the most #1 modern university for research intensity within the UK. So it just shows you the kind of quality of research that you're going to be, quality of academics you'll be studying with. So this gives you just an idea of where we're located, the proximity to central London. We're the big greenhouse there in the bottom left-hand corner. We're just down the River Thames from London's popular tourist attractions, and also very near Wimbledon if we have any tennis fans, and across from London, one of London's 8 royal parks. As my colleague already mentioned, public transportation in London's fantastic, so you can get anywhere you need to go. Huge variety of buses and trains and trams and tubes and everything you need to get around. And we also have a free university bus system that will take you not only around our corner of London, but also straight into Central as well. So this is a map of our campus. So you can see it's lush and green. So you get the best of both worlds, rather. So you've got the green sort of parkland campus, plus being so close to central London, you get city plus nature, which is fantastic. Our university is comprised of 4 historic colleges, and it's similar to some UK and US collegiate systems, but we like to compare ourselves to Harry Potter in that way. And we do have a competition each year, a college cup, where our different colleges compete against each other. But the colleges provide a fantastic community within the community at Roehampton, and it's just a great way to get yourself further involved. So our degrees, as my colleague mentioned, are shorter than US degrees. So you could have 2 in the time it takes you to do 1 here in the US. And these are our 6 academic departments that you can choose from. You can choose single subjects here, or you can combine many of these subjects, but with no general education requirements. Our degrees in the UK are academically challenging, very specialized in a lot of ways, and also very rewarding. So requirements are going to vary from program to program, but very generally we'll be looking at your GPA. We are test optional, and we actually were test optional since before the pandemic. So we like to think that we're leading the way there. So we won't ask you for your SAT or ACT. If you've taken them, you can of course provide them, but you don't need them. Some of our subjects do require particular grades in grade 11 or grade 12, depending on what you're applying to. We of course accept IB and other curriculum, and then we do accept transfer students as well. So that's something that you might want to look into further along. So applying is super simple. You can apply through UCAS, which is similar to the Common App, or you can apply directly on our website for free. We have rolling admissions, which means there's no hard deadlines, which is great. You don't have to worry about applying too late. We'll still consider your application right up until the end of August the following year. And you also can apply, some of our programs you can apply to start in January as well. So in terms of overall cost, my colleague kind of went over this a little bit. We have very similar costs in mind here. So you can see about $18,000 per year In US dollars, you're looking at around 35 to 40,000, depending on your program, for overall cost with tuition and cost of living. But we do, of course, have many scholarships. Our merit-based scholarships are automatic, so you don't have to apply for those. They're based off your GPA. And then, of course, you can apply through FAFSA for federal loans as well. I think my colleague did a fantastic job explaining how accommodation works in the UK at most UK universities. So I'll leave this here, but it's so great that you can have your own bedroom, private bedroom, without having to share with tons of other people. You have the option of having a private ensuite bathroom, and having your kitchen facilities is wonderful to be able to save some money on food as well. So of course, we've got a lot going on campus, as I'm sure you would expect at any university. These are just a few things that you might want to get involved in, and you'd have a fantastic experience no matter what you're into. But a few to note here. So we've got volunteering opportunities, a fantastic nightlife, being so close to London, of course, central London that is, and then tons of societies to get involved in. These are just clubs, what we would call clubs here in America. But one of the biggest things to note here is that our ethos is based on social justice and equality, and it is completely ingrained in everything we do at Roehampton. And it's something that we're really proud of. Just to mention a few more things here, so you can see chaplaincy. We do have a multi-faith chaplaincy if you have a religion that you might want to practice, and we hold tons of really fun fairs and concerts on campus too. Last screen here is just a shot of our competitive sports. We have recently partnered with Crystal Palace, which is a professional football team in the UK. So if you want to play semi-professionally with them, train with them, and study with us, that's a great program to get involved in. And then just finally, I'll leave you with my contact details here. Tons of QR codes, so hopefully you'll have a chance to look at these. But thank you so much for your time today, and wishing you all the best for your college search.
Awesome job. Next up, we have University of Edinburgh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hilary Sementina, and I am the Regional Admissions Representative for the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, and I am based in California. So a little bit about the city of Edinburgh. It's Scotland's capital city. It is a very friendly and diverse city, about only 25,000 people. So even though it's the capital, it does have everything you would expect, like museums, cinemas, nightlife, etc. But it is still relatively small and has a very neighborhoodly feel to it. It's compact and walkable. You don't need a car to get around. Most students walk or ride a bike or take the bus. There are actually 4 universities within Edinburgh, but the University of Edinburgh is the largest. So there's a huge student population in the city. The University of Edinburgh is one of Scotland's ancient universities, founded in 1583, and we're currently ranked 16th in the world. We are a large research-based institution, and over 85% of our academic staff are actively involved in research, and this is across multiple subject areas. We're also associated with many Nobel Prize winners and a Pulitzer Prize winner. So as Scotland's largest university, we are very open to students from across the world. We have about 45,000 students at the university, and about 25,000 of those are undergraduates. 41% of our student population is international, meaning they come from outside of the United Kingdom. And you'll see on my slide here that we're very proud of the fact that we are the #1 destination in the UK for US and Canadian students. We have many societies and events on campus that celebrate and support our diverse community. Should also mention that our staff are very international, with about 1/3 of our staff coming from outside of the UK. So our academic structure, we're divided into 3 colleges, but that's not to say we're a collegiate system like Oxford or Cambridge. It's just how we divide our academic disciplines. So the largest is the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. This is where you'll find subjects such as English literature, law, business, our languages, politics, etc. Then we have the College of Science and Engineering, where you'll find chemistry, engineering, computer science or informatics, physics, among others. And then finally, our College of Medicine and Veterinary Medicine, which is where our medical and vet students study. So as a large institution, you'd expect us to have a lot of degree programs. We have over 390 undergraduate degrees for students to choose from. So hopefully there's something that you're interested in studying. And our academic year is divided into 2 semesters. We have semester 1 from September until December. Then you'll take your exams and the university closes for 2 weeks at winter break. And then semester 2 runs from January until May, where you take your exams again. So a little bit about undergraduate study. You'll have heard from my colleagues from English universities that their degrees are 3 years in length. Well, in Scotland, most of our undergraduate degrees are 4 years in length. So the Scottish system actually directly influenced the North American undergraduate system. So due to our 4-year structure, it means that students have flexibility and choice in the subjects that they study. So in your first 2 years, although you're a politics major, for example, you'll take some compulsory courses for politics, but then you'll also get to take classes from other subjects across the university, maybe a business class, a French class, and a math class, for example. Then once you get into your 3rd year, that's where you really specialize and focus on your major. So you'll be taking your politics classes and you won't be taking electives anymore. However, within politics, you will get to choose from a variety of politics classes. And we also offer a lot of our students the opportunity to do a year abroad during their 3rd year. So even though you would already be technically doing a studying abroad for your undergraduate degree coming to the UK, you could go somewhere else in Europe, Australia, China, or you could return back to the US for your year abroad. And in your 4th year, you finish your studies with a dissertation or research project that's guided by an academic member of staff. But with all of our degrees, we really encourage students to do independent, self-guided thinking. And importantly, our degrees are internationally recognized, so you don't have to worry when you return back to the United States. Your degree from Edinburgh will be seen equivalent as an undergraduate degree in the United States. So obviously your academics are important, but so is life outside of the classroom. We have Welcome Week in September, the week before teaching begins. And this is filled with orientation events for students to get to know the city, their student community, and the campus. We have over 290 student clubs and societies, which I believe is more than any other UK institution. And these range from the serious, like the debate team and Amnesty International, to maybe the not so serious, like the Harry Potter Society or the Baking Society. But they really are a great way to get involved with the campus life and meet other students. We also have sports clubs you can join, and you can play at a very top level or very casually on our intramural teams. We do have university-owned accommodation. There's over 9,000 residential rooms, and international undergraduate students are guaranteed university housing in their 1st year. And on campus, we also have lots of support services available, like counseling service, advice place, health center, career center, etc. So now that you've heard all this and you think, great, fantastic, I'm definitely applying to Edinburgh. Well, that's great. We welcome applications from well-qualified students. As my other UK colleagues mentioned, you apply through UCAS, where you'll submit 1 application to up to 5 degree programs in the UK. And we do have specific entry requirements for US applicants. We will be looking for test scores like SAT, ACT, and AP exams, particularly in our very competitive subjects. But if you haven't been able to take an exam due to disruption from COVID, we may have some flexibility. And finally, I highly recommend that you do our virtual visit of campus. I know it's a long ways to travel to Edinburgh, so you can do our virtual visit to get an idea of the campus and city. You can chat online to our current students, and the QR code there you can scan and it'll take you to useful information for US students. And you can contact us at futurestudents@ed.ac.uk. Thank you very much.
Awesome job. Last but not least, we have the University of Dundee.
Hi there, just share my screen. Hi there, good evening from Scotland. My name is Paul McBean and I'm the Senior International Officer here at the University of Dundee. This evening, I'll just go through a few slides, hopefully give you some information about Dundee and the city and a wee bit about the institution. It's been great that we're paired with another Scottish university, so I won't go over too many of the same things that Hilary did there for Edinburgh, but a lot of what, the structures and a lot of the information about the Scottish degree that Hilary covers is ideal and, will be just as applicable here at Dundee. The University of Dundee was actually founded in 1881 as a college of the University of St Andrews, which is about 20 minutes from where we are today in Dundee. In 1967, the university was given fully independent status as the programs we offered got larger, the number of students got larger, and the need for autonomy was becoming more important. Today, we're a top 250 ranked institution in the world. Obviously, here in Scotland, we offer the 4-year study option with flexible degrees. Just like in Edinburgh, we offer a major from year 1 with the opportunity to take related subjects and give students the opportunity to try new things as they go through their 4 years. We're a medium-sized school of around 14,000 students with over 100 different nationalities on campus. And it says 16% here, and I apologise, it's actually neither 1 in 5 of our students now come from outside the UK. We're a FAFSA approved school and there's scholarships for US students. And as well as the UCAS information that was discussed earlier, we are also on Common App. So if you're maybe thinking of only 1 or 2 applications and Common App's more convenient for you, then we welcome an application. Now, one of the facts about Dundee as a city that's quite smart is that we are a city of design, a UNESCO city of design. And that is one of the only cities of design in Europe. And it really just showcases the history of the artistic element and the design element, not only in the city, but across the educational establishments like ourselves and the other university in the city. Our campus is, we have 2 campuses. We have our city centre campus and our hospital campus. This here is our city centre campus, just to showcase the fact that we are very much in the city of Dundee. We're about a 10-minute walk to downtown. Our campus is home to around 12,500 students. It has everything that you would need for your student life. So it has your teaching space, your accommodation, it has your recreational areas, your students' union, as well as easy access to the city centre, and as a result, the train station and further afield in Scotland. I'm quite new to Dundee, having only worked here for the last 6 months, and even in this short period of time, I'm feeling very much at home, and hopefully you would too when you arrive in Dundee. In Dundee, we have 10 academic schools. Now, I'm not going to go through every school and every programme, so if you want, you can scan the QR code here, and this will take you to our prospectus. Some of the schools that are popular amongst our US students are our School of Life Sciences, our School of Science and Engineering, our Art and Design School, the Duncan of Jordanston College, as well as our Humanities and Social Sciences. One of the things that's really smart about coming to study in Dundee is that we're a research-based institution with our academics teaching what they research. So it doesn't matter what programme you're doing, you'll be learning from experts in their area, and they will encourage you to look beyond the information they're giving you and become competent researchers, and build that up as you go through your studies. One of the things I really like about Dundee as well is the class sizes. As a medium-sized school, you will get to know your classmates very well, your academic colleagues very well, and really feel part of the wider academic community across the 4 years. Now, just as at other universities, student life and student support are some of the key things that we want to promote, because it gives you an idea of what life would be like outside of the classroom. Now, here in Dundee, we have around 190 different student societies and 50 different sports teams. These societies and sports teams are very much there for you to get involved with as much or as little as you wish. One of the things that's really cool about coming to study in Scotland is that there is not one thing on campus that students all do. So the idea about going to a university and having your student life dictated by tradition isn't as prevalent here in Dundee. You can get involved with as much or as little as you want, and we encourage our students to try different things. So it's quite common to see students in sports teams, as well as maybe in the creative arts, or maybe in the debate team. Now, over the last 18 months, student support has probably been one of the key things in the university, not only just in Dundee, but across the world. So here in Dundee, we place a big emphasis on supporting our students, whether it's before COVID, during COVID, or hopefully as we move and emerge from COVID. Every student is given an academic advisor. As well as that, students have access to counselling and disability services. We have health services and multi-faith centres. So if you want to maybe speak to somebody, get a wee bit of stress, kind of off your system and really just kind of talk through maybe a challenge or a problem you're facing, the university is expertly placed for that. One of the things that is very good about Dundee is that community feel. As we're a campus-based university, as we're medium-sized, you will find your place in campus and find your place in the student life very easily, and hopefully that will help you build a great student life. For the times where things are a little more challenging, as you'll see here, we have a great level of support, and it's something that we really pride ourselves on here at Dundee. Now, thanks very much for listening. If you want to get in touch, please feel free to scan the QR code. And this here is just a nice wee picture of the V&A Museum, which opened up in Dundee a few years ago. In the first 500 days, actually over 1 million people visited the museum space, which equates to nearly 1 in 5 people in Scotland. So it's a huge draw, and it's only 10 minutes from our campus. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you to all of our reps tonight from all of our colleges and institutions. I just want to invite everybody to turn back on their cameras at this time. We're going to kind of throw out one question to everybody this evening, kind of go round robin style. The question that we will be answering tonight is, what advice would you give to somebody going through the college process or college search right now? And we will go in the same order that we presented in this evening. So starting with York University.
I would say something I've noticed a lot in the emails I get is students starting their email with, "I'm sorry to bother you, but," and I want students to understand that you are an equal partner in this relationship. This is not, we are here to help you. And whatever question you need answered, it doesn't have to be only academically based. This is a big decision. And I think that whatever you need to know or whatever will help you decide if a school is the right school or the wrong school, ask those questions and keep asking until you get the answers. I really wish students felt more empowered. I think they're so stressed out. They have this sort of like deer in headlights thinking that they have to choose the next 50 years in the next 3 months. And that is not the case. Just think about who you are, what you need to continue and to be happy and to thrive, and ask for those things and see which school appeals to most of the things that you want.
That's
Yeah, I
great
think
advice.
that's definitely the best thing, to definitely ask questions. Ruby's right. And then also I think explore your options. Now's your time. You don't need to be limited. You've got all these opportunities. You've got different countries represented here. Don't just think about what your friends or family might be doing, but look wider, look at everything. Yeah, you've got fantastic choices.
Yeah, and I would echo all of that as well. I think all of us here, I've not met a university or college representative that doesn't love their job, love being able to help students, be able to give the advice that we have, whether it's living in another country, whether it's studying abroad. So I would definitely echo that what Ruby said. And then to add on to Jane's as well, it's thinking about what you really do want from your university experience. Obviously, academics are important. Obviously, what comes after university is important, but also thinking about, like, are you from a small town and you want to experience a city, or are you from a city and you might want to experience something a little bit more suburban? Like, thinking about those really intricate parts of what you really want from your college experience as well, because I think that's just as important as the academics as well.
I actually am going to echo what Amanda just said. And while the university is a very important choice, so is the environment that you want to live in and be in. Do you want to be in a large city with 8 million people, or would you rather be on a small campus with 4,000 other students? So that plays just as an important part in your happiness as a university student, as well as the classes that you're taking.
And I mean, all the advice so far has been, exactly what I would, say. I think the thing I would always just let any student know is that there's no silly question. every question is important, and when we're doing our job, we'll ask lots of questions too of students, of academics. I would encourage us. There's no silly question, and we'll be happy to help. And yeah, just enjoy attending these events. Access the information that you need.
That's all great advice. It's always great to hear what every college and institution has to offer, as a lot of us have gone through it before in the past. So with a couple minutes left, I do just kind of want to throw out one more question for our representatives this evening. What is one thing that you want students to remember about your school or institution specifically? And we'll kind of go around in the same order again, starting with York University.
As a student myself, when I was a student and I decided to go into fine arts, where I was living, there was one university that offered fine arts, and that was it. I could not take anything else because it was so specialized, which can be great. But one of the things I love about York is that which is one of the things I mentioned at the top, was you don't have to give up an interest to go there. You can keep everything that you love. It's not like, well, I love science and I love dance, but people look much happier when I tell them I'm going into science, so I'll just give up dance. No, you can do that. You can create an incredibly unique program that will make you incredibly valuable, because you will bring things together into a combination that someone else won't have. So I love that aspect of York, is that you can combine so many different things and be such a unique person when you're done.
For Westminster, I think mainly that we're in London and we're friendly. So you're welcome to get in touch and ask us questions. And London's a great friendly city.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, can I? But I would agree with that as well. And just for Roehampton, I would say just having the beautiful green kind of parkland space, having that best of both worlds is the one thing that I love to be able to share with students. Being able to be outside of the busyness, but also be so close to it, I think is a really fun aspect of being at Roehampton.
One thing that I think is great about the University of Edinburgh is that you're not only at a prestigious world-renowned institution, but you're also in a world-famous city as well. So we like to say that the city of Edinburgh is our campus. We have university buildings all around the city. There's always things happening for students that are either being put on by the university or student events in the city. So at Edinburgh, you really get the great university experience as well as capital city life.
And yeah, I think for Dundee, it's Dundee is a bit of a kind of unknown city outside of Scotland often. So I think it's just coming and, exploring the city. That's something I've really enjoyed doing. There's lots of quirky little museums, galleries, restaurants, things that you don't maybe expect of a city of this size. It's also, it's got the river nearby and the seaside. So, it's, the kind of location is probably what I really like about the university and the campus.
Awesome. It's always great to hear about campuses and different places and where our students can go see and visit. I just want to thank everybody for joining us this evening, thanking our attendees, and thanking, most importantly, our college reps for sharing their information tonight and sharing awesome information about their institutions. For our attendees, we do have a quick survey. After you close the window, there will be a 5-question survey. We just like to hear back how your experience was. There are more sessions happening if you would like to sign up for more, hear more about other colleges and universities. And the recording will be available at stryscan.com/WACAC. So good luck to everybody through your recruiting season, reps, and also through your college search process, to our students and their families. And I hope everybody has a good year. Good night, everyone.